As you can see, we just had to pause some map making for some technical issues. Okay, now what I'm thinking we'll do here also is shadow. Okay, that will work fine. Let's drop that size down. And we're just gonna put a single black line down the middle of this map, just so we know that we're no longer dealing with the same elevation. Okay. Now there is still that slight issue. I really don't. I'm really not a fan of these hard edges. So we're just gonna muck with the opacity a little bit and put some grass along the edges. I mean, it's barely visible, but it's just enough to fool the eye that there's just something extra going on there. And of course, now that we know where the house opens up onto the main street, we can also go ahead and place... We'll just recycle this wall here. Okay, that's 4. We'll make that 5. Don't really need a proper front wall per se. Now, we'll just put some other walls in there on account of, look, some people might disagree, but I personally don't think that going to the loo needs to be a social experience. And we'll just put some normal... hang on, we need to fix that. Actually, let's make that just a touch darker. know, I think we might also just make these pavers a wee bit smaller. Oh, dude, the campaign is going amazing. We've had 3 sessions so far. 4th session will be on Tuesday night if you're in Freedom Land, or Wednesday morning here down under. I fully expect to get to the conclusion of the first chapter, the first night, almost a prologue, if you will, this coming episode. We do also have our previous episodes up on YouTube. I know episode 1 and 2 are up. We're sort of still working on an upload schedule, so like obviously we want to create an incentive for having people come and watch it on the night. But at the same time, we still want people who can't make it to be able to look at it on YouTube. So we'll probably look at having the each episode up on the map. So I'm basically doing map making on Saturday nights, Sunday mornings. I tend to just describe everything in American nights, Australian mornings. So I'm thinking maybe we'll put the episode up Tuesday nights, Wednesday mornings, episode up on Saturday night, Sunday mornings, so that it goes live on YouTube at or around the time I'm doing map making, so people still have time to catch it on YouTube before it goes live on Twitch, before the next episode goes live on Twitch. It's going hilariously as well, by the way. Couldn't have picked a more hilarious group to play a group of policemen. Currently, I've planned out the first 5 chapters of the campaign. The first chapter only takes place over the course of a single night. The next chapter will take place over the course of up to a 10-day. A 10-day in the Forgotten Realms is a week. Their weeks, obviously, are a little bit longer than ours. And chapter 3, I've yet to start writing. Obviously, 3, 4, and 5 are all sketched out, but not written in detail. So chapter 3 could probably take place over the course of a month at this stage, getting into some real gangland territory disputes by that stage. Should be some really exciting stuff. I'm hoping to have our players have to plan some raids, a little bit of Rainbow Six, Tom Clancy set in the Forgotten Realms, so I'm really looking forward to that. But at this stage, I could foresee up to 20 odd chapters, maybe more, because it's going to come down to how the players feel about where the campaign's going, how the viewers are doing, because obviously this is this being a live stream depends on you guys as much as it depends on us. For my part, depending on how things are going, of course, I'm happy to take this campaign all the way to level 20. And possibly even beyond. I know that there are some... I know there's some resources online for taking characters beyond 20th level, so that could be something worth looking into as well. Yeah, we really want to move away from the hack and slash, stand in lines and attack until one side's dead. I would like to be creating essentially mini-maps of the environment that they're going into to present... How do I put this? I would like to imagine the characters standing around a table in their headquarters, looking at a map of a villa, looking at a map of some sewers, placing miniatures of themselves, saying, okay, I'm going to drop in here. We're going to try casting this spell at, we think the guards will be here at this time. We're going to try to neutralize all them in one go. When that happens, you're going to move to here. An archer might be up here. We need to have Overwatch here. Like, I don't want it to just be kick down the door, start swinging, start slinging. I really want to encourage some tactical behavior. And of course, you know, it's not going to be all super serious. It's our Watchmen, but you know, we kind of want to try new things with Law and Order. I mean, as it is, the whole recipe of Law and Order is an inversion of the usual adventurer sort of recipe. Normally, it's all about trying to avoid trouble from the City Watch. These guys are playing the City Watch. The adventurers, they're not really the bad guys in this picture, but they're an annoyance that happens in the background. These are the people who have to clean up after the adventurers. And as you'll see in the coming weeks, the reason that this campaign is taking place, the reason that this team is going to become a proper team, is because some of the powers that be are just sick of the way adventurers do things. They're too messy. Let's just swap that around so it doesn't look exactly like a copy paste. You know, we just want to play around with the standard tried and true D&D model, see if we can come up with something a bit more creative with it. As you can see, all about placing flowers near the toilets because, ew. That's actually how it was done. It hangs sprigs of herbs and shit near the latrines. And yeah, now that we know where the main streets are, we can just have a bit of public bathroom in the backyard area. We'll put a bit of a garden in here. It's a fair point, taxpayer, but personally, I'm okay with that. You know, we don't often get to flex our landscape architecture muscles. Let's leave upstairs aside for a moment. Show me a fountain. Add a few extra elements to our palette. Okay, so clicking on the text removes everything else. Good to know. Okay, these watercolor ones aren't that great. So we've predominantly been using Fantasy Battle Maps 2.0. See what the regional does. Okay, good to know. A little bigger than we'd want. As much as we don't want to be bound by the grid, it's still not a bad idea to be sort of inspired by the grid, use it as a guideline. So we'll put some... Yeah, so particularly while we're early in the campaign, now is probably one of the better times to head over to YouTube and just play around with... Hello, Ellie! Just having a chilled out map making session again. Yeah, this is probably one of the better times to go over to YouTube and check out the episodes that have already happened, because we're keeping our session to 2 hours. It's some nice bite-sized chunks, And, you know, there isn't 50 episodes of archive to get through. Again, just messy up. Just add the slightest hint of mess to these edges. You can see it really just sort of softens it up rather than having like patches of grass. But softening up those straight lines is enough to fool the eye into thinking that that's supposed to be there. Now again, we'll use those smaller. Yep. Opacity, important. No, that's too big. We don't want that. Big pavers, good for roads. Big pavers, not good for pathways. No. Okay, good to know. Look, this very much does depend on the team itself, but yes, that's kind of the hope. That's what I have in mind when I'm writing the campaign. So I'm quite excited to see if the players take that and run with it. Theoretically, if they take it and run with it in the early levels, it's probably just going to become more second nature to them as they hit the higher levels. And what I'd like, I know a couple of players have already sort of seen this coming and embraced it. What I'm hoping for is that some of the players will look at where they want to take their characters in higher levels and then start selecting spells and selecting abilities based around their earlier experiences so that they can, you know, become better Black Ops operatives. Now, let's see if we can find some sand. Nice, clean, loose sand. Yeah, Ellie just finished a charity stream that unfortunately I missed, trying to humanize myself for this stream here, but she was raising money for, I believe, the Gary Sinise Foundation. Ellie, when obviously in a little bit, if there's still space for people to go and support that, helping veterans, Phil, you can't drop a link right now. I don't know if you can drop links because they might get picked up by the filter. But if you send me a link, I'll drop it as Law and Order, because we can't ban ourselves, I would think. and we'll see if we can get almost $3,000. That's amazing. Oh, so happy. I'm not a veteran myself, but I come from a military family. My brother's done a number of tours of duty, and supporting veterans is, I'm here for it. It's a cause that's pretty close to my heart. So, yeah, if there's any way for people to get in at the last minute to throw some support your way, then let me know, and like I said, I'll post it. So, maybe wondering, why are we just throwing a massive... Okay, sure. Why a sand patch right in the middle of the garden or the grounds? Well, the Roaring Horns are rowdy and adventurous with a zest for life. And why would they not have their own sparring pit, fighting pit out on the grounds? Shay Halud, the spice must flow. Let's look for a fence. I don't think we want stake fences. Wooden fences look good. Rope fences also look good. Let's use this show feature and expand both of them. I really like the look of the rope fence myself, so let's select those. We'll avoid the random. We might increase the size a little bit. Solid thick ropes. Actually, let's see what 50 looks like. Yep, that'll work nicely. That's almost a full square. Little details like this, I find, for me personally, not only help tell the story, but they also create great opportunities for more interactive roleplay. Combat-focused characters tend to have less opportunity to interact with NPCs. You know, we sometimes refer to our high charisma characters as the face of the group, meaning they're the one that do all the talking. And so, you know, our fighters, our barbarians, sometimes our rangers tend to be sort of sidelined during these win the important NPC over. So the idea of going to a noble villa and the fighters going, okay, well, you know, I'm just going to hit the stand at the back. Except this time the noble goes, no, if you want to win me over, beat me in a fight. Then you'll earn my respect. Suddenly, that combat player finds themselves in a very important roleplay position. And is able, I think we'll keep that straight for there. And is able to do something really cool for the party in a social aspect. That they normally wouldn't otherwise be able to do. And you know, this could be like a mage's workshop, laboratories, and instead of it being a fighter character, it's the wizard character who's trying to impress somebody with their spellcasting ability. It's just a way of finding opportunities for different kinds of player builds to shine. Now we'll leave a gap there. You know, I don't think we're going to get a neat finish there, which is fine. We'll just not do that. We'll just put another gap. People to enter from a different side. Now, I wonder if they have like training weapons and combat dummies and stuff. Dummy, mummy, okay. Target dummies. There we go. So we'll put a couple, wrong button, put a couple of these in here as well. We'll just obviously stick them near the edges. And yeah, let's put that one there. Put like a rack. Oh, torture rack. Okay, good to know. Okay, let's just take a small warehouse rack. Put that here. And now we're going to see what we have in the way of weapons. This will do nicely. Absolutely adoring this music, by the way. Okay, good to know. Baby oil, important for temporary tattoos. Are these temporary tattoos that like you buy and stick something on your skin, like they come attached to a sheet, or did you get someone in to like spray them onto you? I had a guy who does ink brushing. I think that's what they call it. So he often does temporary tattoos at fairs and stuff. Okay. Now the other thing that I would like us to do, So you need to create a little bit of shadow here for the purpose of having a balcony. And other thing that we're going to do, we'll use a stamp. See if there's something like a wooden post. Okay, let's just try one of these then. Pillar. Okay. Yep, we'll just use a wooden pillar. And I think we'll put one here and maybe even here. Go back to our paint layer. And again, we're just going to make it just a little bit darker. Place those there, and then we go to our grass and make that just a little bit darker. And a little bit smaller. There we go. It probably looks a little bit odd like that, but that'll make a lot more sense visually when we work on the second level. So first things first, we'll just actually, what I'll do is make that a touch darker. Just to sort of, almost like a bit of black background blur. Picks up that little delineation line there. Oh, now also we leave 1, 2, 3, 4 with that very short pathway. Which is slightly frustrating because it doesn't replicate the exact placement of the tiles there because it's based off this grid. But that's okay, we'll make do. Let's move this overall map up to here. I'd be tempted to leave this here as like an overall, hey, this is where you are in the city. But, like I said, I pulled this from the interactive map of Waterdeep, and I know that this map was done by Mike Sherl, who does most, if not all, of Wizards maps for 5th Ed. At least the large, colour detailed maps, not necessarily the combat maps, like the simpler combat maps. And also these dots here, I know these were added as an overlay by the people who did the interactive map. It's just too much copyright to navigate for my personal tastes. Okay, we don't have any wooden floorboards in the recently used, so we'll go dig up some floorboards. I don't get the difference between them too much, but that's fine. Actually, no. They can have... We'll use a different layer. So this is 2 by 3, so it's just going to be these ones here. Now we need railings. I don't think there are going to be railings. Especially not in textures. Derp. Derp. Let's go back to stamps. There are railings, the more you know. Elven railings. Probably a little more complex than I would like, so let's go with fences. What do these picket fences look like? We'll just expand. No, they're a little bit ugly. Let's try these ones. Cool. And just line that up and it should go under the wall. Perfect. Okay. Oop, still getting the hang of the zoomy thing here. We'll just quickly redo some of the paint work down here. We don't need to do all the same details very carefully. Like I said, it can just be sort of out of focus a little bit. So that comes down 3, 1, 2, 3, out 2, down 2, and that's 5 by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 5. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and fill in the rest. Yes, we should consider saving the work. Thank you, Incarnate. Okay, now we don't need to redo the bathroom here. We just need to whack a roof down. Let's just quickly do all this grass first. Just increase the size a bit more. So without giving away too many spoilers, to go back to that, you know, Black Ops, Special Ops sort of discussion, it's probably a little while off yet, but I would very much love to be one of the first D&D streams to do a tactical Halo assault on a hard location, so to speak. We're going to use spells, we're going to use magical creatures, but we are absolutely doing a Halo drop over a city at night, and it's going to be amazing. I think that was one of the sequences I had in my head that probably inspired me to really go hard on the Waterdeep setting, and on this, you know, cops and robbers style adventure. So I'm really excited to see how the players respond, and I'm really excited to see how it looks. Oop. So that's not how we do it. We do it from there, copy, and there we go. You know what, I think we will just copy and paste all the road fences. That lines up roughly there and there. Now it would be great if you could copy paste brushwork, that would be amazing. Target, okay, weapons, target dummies, that's everything there. Will this be a slightly anachronistic take on the standard D&D? You better believe it. Will it be amazing? I personally think so, yes. Okay, that's not right. That's better. So I'm curious if anyone's got any thoughts on this. Like, if there's a movie you've seen, for example, and there's just an incredible sequence, be it like Mission Impossible style, be it, you know, SEAL Team, or, you know, some action thriller movie, I would love to hear it. That's right, we got to add these as well, and to sort of imagine how we might reimagine that into a Dungeons and Dragons setting. So one thing, as on the John mentioned, you said that, you know, you can kill some pretty scary monsters at 8th level, and that's true, but I'm fascinated by the idea of, you know, 8th level characters, but they've got to worry themselves with a whole bunch of like challenge rating 1/8. So imagine if, for example, you know, their City Watch, they're not really going to be going into a manor house or into a warehouse or some kind of merchant's guild, and it's not the sort of thing where you can just walk in and stab all the guards in the neck, kill them all in one go. Sure, it's silent, but, you know, these aren't necessarily bad guys, so they've got to get in and out without necessarily killing anyone, but also without tipping off who just breached whatever complex. So maybe they'll have to be using their spells to put a guard in stasis somehow to knock the guard out in one go. Maybe it's going to be a case of, you know, Ornipus, our orc fighter, walks up and just bashes them over the head, knocks them unconscious in one hit. Because if they fail to subdue a guard of some sort in a round, that guard might raise an alarm. Once that alarm is raised, more guards come running, the situation escalates. So I'm fascinated with this idea of creating some truly terrifying enemies who in a straight up fight, that they could just, you know, it's like brushing lint off their shoulder, but because of the mission parameters, for lack of a better phrase, this challenge rating 1/8 NPC is absolutely terrifying. As you know, again, just playing with those standard fantasy tropes and subverting some of the expectations that we have surrounding them. Mwah, can't wait. Okay, so we've roughly recreated that. We just need to put a roof on our toilet. No, they can have something fancier than a hay roof. We will just use a rectangular slate roof. We'll just blow that up slightly. Yeah, that looks like it'll do. Bit of overhang, but so be it. If we want to clean that up just a little bit, we'll just go down to advanced settings, transform its width. Not the width. How does 90 look? Okay, 90 looks a lot better. You know, I'm not sure it's something we'd need to worry about with the roaring horns as far as in character goes, but maybe they want to put Nixie with her longbow up on the roof of the outhouse, being able to fire straight in through the balcony door. Could happen. Now they have that option. Okay, well those are the grounds done. I think we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to scurry to the little map maker's room and back. And then we will get into the first floor. Okay. See you all very soon. And we are back. Okay, so with the grounds largely finished, we might maybe put some shrubbery or something up in this corner just to fill in the blanks. We are now able to sort of turn our attentions back to the inside. Now, as you'll remember, if you were with us last week for our map making session, we created a rather swanky ensuite bathroom in here. Nice big bronze tub. Let's just get rid of that stamp. Nice big bronze tub with some candles, plants, a little bit of booze, private bathroom. Oh, and we even created a fancy little wine spill using a rug, among other things. So now, in order to work out everything else, let's go back to our reference map. Again, this is hello, reference map. Why are you no visible? There we go. Okay, so as we mentioned earlier, this came from the City Systems box set in, I think it was 1988, somewhere between 88 and 92. And while this was designed to help DMs play in any city, The city that they used as an example was Waterdeep, so a number of noble villas were mapped out in individual detail, such as the Roaring Horn Villa. There's a keep, some of the barracks. There's also like some generic, this is what a warehouse looks like when they need to build 6 warehouses. They just go to this plan. So it helps DMs flesh out their cities in some really amazing ways. I do have getting a hard copy of this box set on my to-do list. It's a medium to long-term goal because I want these maps. I want to be able to unfold them, frame them, put them on a wall. I'm a nerd for this. So, I think we can reasonably assume that if this is now the ensuite, because I don't know why there would be storage off what looks like one of the master bedrooms. If this is now an ensuite, this is the master bedroom. So let's make the swankiest looking bedroom we can. Zoom in. First things first, let's get a bed. What? That's better. Royal beds. Yeah, let's see what we can get in the way of fancy stuff. Okay, there's a 4-poster. This is good. We might even consider some elven beds. And metal beds. I do like the look of the Rustic North just because it's got the skins on them. Nice skins that still have the like actual furs. Strikes me as very much an upper class sort of thing. I think we'll go with this elven bed. Once again, every time we look at the Roaring Horn guide map, it just completely screws the rest of it, but so be it. We don't need a bed that's 10 feet wide. We do want a bed that's about 10 feet long. There we go. Okay, so with this being at level 1, we can probably squeeze this against the wall. Make sure a little bit of the frame is visible. Show off that this is, I think this is a 4-poster bed. If it's not a 4-poster bed, it's got a really nice carved frame, and you know, we're just flexing here. We'll move that up to level 2 so that, my goodness, okay, so it looks like I didn't sort out the layers on the first floor nearly as well. Move that up to 5, move that up to 3. So we can stick a rug underneath there. $10 PM tacos does sound pretty amazing though. I'm not sure there's ever a wrong time for tacos. More importantly, there are always circumstances at any time of the day in which tacos can be good. I think I'm more a fan of tacos have the hard shells. Which ones have the soft shells? We need some furs or carpet underneath the bed. One has like the wrap bread with everything inside it. Oh, this looks like it could be good. Once again, up the opacity, down the size. Boom. I like it. Bedside tables? We need bedside tables. I guess table might work. Fancy bedside table. I'll take it. Some cactus. As in cactus that you eat? Okay, I mean, we have a bed, we have bedside tables, we'll need dresses? Nopalitos. Nopalitos. However I pronounce it, there's a good chance that's wrong. Nopalitos? I'll take it. Good. Nopalitos. 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 Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. And we'll just grab a couple of dresses from the bottom floor and... Nah. Between inflections, accents, it's always going to be an adventure. Okay, so we know the front of the dresser is on that side. Let's put 2 reasonable sized dresses there and there-ish. Now. Noble women. Assuming large bed, married couple, etc. Noble woman. We're going to need... ooh, what do they have in the way of like divider walls? I don't know what else to call them. Like the concertina walls that you put out for like getting change behind and stuff. Ooh. Do they have a vanity? Anything called a vanity in here? They do indeed. A vanity table and a stool. Outstanding. Now I know they have dressmakers dolls because we used them in the Coach's Court tenement building. Dolls? Those are actual dolls. Dress mannequins. That'll do. Do any actually have? Yes. Excellent. So, you know, we'll get a couple with... You know, because fancier dresses and shit like that, you probably don't want to have them folded up or hanging somewhere. Yep. like you to rotate. Now that is odd. Much better. Okay, let's go back to the rugs. They don't have much in the way of like round and patterned with a vivid colour. There's just this washed out looking thing. Let's... Ew. Let's just quickly move all of this up to level 2. Now, let's see if we can add some colour to that. Let's try green. And blend it. Multiply. Not bad. Okay. Keep that in mind. Ill. Also ill. Okay, that's pretty. I have no idea how the hell that just happened, but I like it. Difference. Memo to self. Google difference. But I like it. That's good. That's really nice. Can we make it just a little bit paler? Yeah, that's nice. Alright. So that's the lady of the house's corner. Honestly, not sure what else. We're going to flaunt wealth somehow. Maybe some indoor plants, I guess. Oh, animal rugs. Remember, in fantasy settings, fur is not murder. Fur is the offshoot of needing to eat and stay warm. And that's okay. Fireplace. They'll get cold in a big room like this, and they can afford a fireplace. So let's give them a fireplace. I said, let's give them a fireplace. We'll make it a smaller one. On account of, yeah, it's not the main room. But with that said and done, let's go ahead and put a couple of cozy chairs next to it. And this can be a fancy chair because it's the master bedroom. Small table. Nope, that's just a singular one. small tables next to them for drinking. And let's see what other animal skin they had. Okay, wolf skin. Now that's gonna create some layering issues, but that's okay, we can fix that. Make it a direwolf skin, just a fraction bigger. Okay, and yep, there's those layering issues, so number 2. And just for consistency's sake, in case we need to change anything later, we'll make it all layer 2. Okay. I don't think we need much more than that. We'll put... I like the idea of a writing desk, so we've got the Lady of the House's corner here, and we'll have the Lord of the House's corner here, so... complete mind blank for a moment there. Possibly just a little too specific. What about a desk? That's kind of cool. We'll go with the fancy desk here that sort of goes in the same vein as the... Up the opacity, down the size. And put that down on layer 2. Ick. Thea, hello. Good to see you again. Yeah, this music, there's so many different feelings, ambient tones in this playlist. It's amazing. Okay, I think Lord Roaringhorn wants his own carpet as well. We very much sort of decorate in textures, I think. You can have a square one, so we'll go back to rug. Make sure that's all one. Chair for him. It won't be one of the fancier ones because it's a workstation. If he did actually, ooh, good enough reason as any to use this high back chair. I don't know if you would know this, but I have created a mimic class. I think it wants a bit of retooling. Some of the subclasses, but I've created a playable mimic class that I use in a Saturday Curse of Strahd campaign. There is a mimic somewhere in the module, is all I'll mention, and our too wholesome for any world really cleric Mary Rose managed to absolutely smash out some ungodly high social rolls. They tamed a mimic. They keep him fed and happy. He loves his mummy, Mary Rose. And I look forward, every time he levels up, I look forward to surprising the players with some new abilities. So pet mimics are a thing. Depending on how this campaign goes, the Curse of Strahd campaign goes. So the mimic's name is Forget, and he's a simulacrum mimic, meaning he takes on some more complicated forms, because mimics tend to take on the form of inanimate objects. He can, for short periods of time, take on more complex moving objects. So he currently made a dramatic entrance into a fight in the form of a large war dog, and it was amazing. I loved narrating it. The players were like, "Oh my god, yes, it's Forget! This is amazing!" There's some more surprises. I can't wait. I'm not going to tell any because one of the players may or may not be hearing this, and spoilers. Yeah, I think that, you know what, we'll see if we can put some papers or something on this desk, just to add a few extra details. Start with a quill. Said, start with a quill. Up the opacity, down the size. Holy shit, look at the size of that. By the time we make it the appropriate size, it'll barely be recognizable, but okay. A desk plant. You know what? I'm down. Let's put a desk plant in. Do we have a... I don't like those bottom ones. Okay. See if we can fit. There we go. Desk plant. Lord Roaringhorn is an innovator. Or maybe Lady Roaringhorn is an innovator, and Lord Roaringhorn is like, you know what, this works. Make my workstation smell nicer. Scrolls or paper? Okay. Now these are the sort of the lower quality looking ones, but when we're working at this size, it doesn't really matter too much, which is great. That's a top corner by the look of it. And we'll just put a stack of unused paper up here. And if we zoom out, hey, that looks nice. Okay, I think we got time to start one more room. We got about half an hour left before we hit our 2-hour mark, which is, you know, kind of where I like to leave it. I can feel myself starting to run down a little bit, which is fine. So let's go back to our guide. Hide image. We have another bedroom, and I don't know, it looks like there's just 2 more meeting rooms. I feel like we can do a bit better than that, you know? put a large den. Like, we can still have the table and chairs, but I like the idea of a large, like, cozy sitting den area. We'll put some couches, a brazier in the middle. Okay, so let's drop that back down, and let's look for couches. They are nobles. We will go with a fancier couch. And once again, I mean, we looked at the original guide image, so up the opacity, down the size. I feel like we could probably make some beanbags in Incarnate. I don't quite know where we would put beanbags yet, but challenge accepted. Let's put the layer down. Layer 2, so carpets 1, furniture 2, and 3. And we need to make this smaller. So I once shared a large house with some friends from school. Generally turned out well, at least when it was us. And because there was 4 of us, it was a large house, so there was a big open upstairs area that all the bedrooms opened up onto, so we sort of made a smaller second lounge room that, you know, if someone wanted to just chill out and read or play a video game, but not in the big open area where everyone coming and going, you know, it was a nice little den sitting area. Okay, so it's just that one couch, really. So we'll go to chair and find a matching chair. Yeah, that feels like it sort of matches, so we'll shrink that down a little bit, maybe one there, one there. Bit more space there, and there. I'm not a fan of putting, I mean, we have the fireplace in the master bedroom, but that's right up against the wall, the exterior wall. So as nice as it would be to have a fire pit in the middle, that's something we'd probably do with a castle, because the castle might have more of the stone floors or like heavier duty wooden floors that could support stone bases to put an open fire on. So in this case, we'll just go to light. Okay, that was good. Brass or silver? Okay, they're nobles, but let's not go too wild here. And nice big brazier in the middle. Let's turn that a little bit. Now we'll just stick that in the middle of those 2 lines like that. And again, a nice big carpet at layer 1. Sort of, the rug really ties the room together, man. That's how it be. Okay, no, we're gonna size it in between these 2 vertical lines, and then transform. Now I would think it would be height, so I'm gonna move width because Incarnate. Hey! And then we'll just stretch it up to match those two. Now, because it's red underneath red, I mean, it's nice and warm, but it's sort of hard to see. There's got to be a big Lebowski and a little Lebowski in here somewhere. Let's reduce the saturation slightly. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Let's drop it down, see what 60 does. There we go, still got colour, but now you can see the furniture on top of it a bit better. Looking good, looking good. Now we'll put some cupboards and stuff around the outside. Light. Actually, let's put some wall sconces around. Now that's an interesting thing. By putting a door there to a balcony, we've actually sort of destroyed any opportunity to put wall lighting at the top of the stairs. Huh. Let's have another look at the lighting catalogue. I mean, we could try putting a hanging lantern in there. Put what we'll do is we'll just sort of stick that there, make it look like it's coming out of the wall. And remember, we do have our room descriptions to help us with this, so as they you know, something like a brief narration. As you enter the top of the stairs, you find yourself at a small landing about 10 feet by 10 feet. Small circular lanterns protrude from the top of the stairwell. Bam, they see that, they go, okay, that's what that is. No longer an issue. And if I just raise that up slightly, there we go. Now it is literally sticking out of the wall. Now there is one last thing I'd like to, if we're going to have a big table up here, that wall has got to go. Let's look for some nice windows. Let's get rid of the light tag. Okay, don't use those ones, they're kind of ugly. Up the opacity, down the size. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So make this big enough to cover the top 3. Alright, this works well. We're going to put one there. One there. Select. Delete. Delete. I'll have to make them a bit bigger and move them down to layer 4. These big corner pieces should be layer 5 anyway. Now we have a great big feature window. Carpet, from the edge of the carpet. Yeah, I think we're just gonna move that back a bit and this brazier really should be closer to the middle of the carpet. You know, sort of the centerpiece everything else is built around. Much better. And let's take a copy of this desk, shrink it down into like a side table for storing drinks and cigars on. This very much has the feel of a drinks and cigars sort of area. This has the feeling of like the family room area about it. So like maybe there's meeting rooms, a grand entertaining ballroom type area, but this is going to have the warmer, cozier sort of feel to it. So let's look for some nice tables again. Maybe not reuse the same table too many times. Long fancy table with cloths. Where are the cloths? Okay, I like the way this looks. That'll go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blow it up some. Like the really showy table will be downstairs in the ballroom, but thank you. That's exactly what we're going for here. Tablecloth. And a table runner. The question is, does that actually look like a tablecloth and a table runner, or does that... Okay, these look like they're floating. There's a shadowy... Okay, cast no shadow. And cast no shadow. Okay, that's a bit better. Bingo, bingo. And do we want to try? Yeah, let's try. Again, we're sort of some of the nicer furniture upstairs where Mum, Dad, and the kids are going to eat without all the rowdier guests. Well, that. It's not to say Mum, Dad, the kids can't be rowdy as well, but you know, rowdy is for downstairs. A simple, a fancy chair. I mean, now traditionally chairs along the edges of a fine table. Up the opacity, down the size. Looks about right. Yeah, traditionally tables, good table sets, the tables down the edges don't have arms. Sorry, the chairs down the edges don't have arms, but that's okay. Put that at layer 1 so it goes under the table. This is a big dining set, so four and 5. Jewish group selection would be a mite easier in Incarnate. That's okay. Of course. 270. Now they're facing the right way. Okay, and we'll make a display cabinet of some sort. See what we can find with the word display in it. Okay, just cabinet, I guess. Fancy dresser cabinets. Sure, we'll go back to using them. And again, there's no reason that they can't have glass fronts, because you can't see the glass fronts from here, so they'll just be there when in the description. The description will say display units, glass wall. Actually, let's transform that first. I'm going to say height. Yep. You would think it's width, so it's height. Make that a bit wider. Now we'll copy and paste it over to there. So come to think of it, we probably should turn, and this will be a memo for self for next week, I think. We might turn one of these areas into like a servant space. We'll put a small bedroom in here, and a kitchen, and maybe even a laundry area. Because, you know, unless, and see how the train of thought went, unless we're going to have like a buffet table somewhere for the food to be laid out, people to come and get, you know, they're gonna want people to bring the food out. Where they're gonna bring the food out from? Where's the food gonna be prepared from? We put in bathrooms, we should probably put in a kitchen. So I think memo to self, and what we'll do is we'll just go we'll just delete that later on. So we'll remove those tomorrow. And you know, we have 3 bedrooms. A 4th bedroom might not go down. Might not be a bad idea. That or some sort of a games room, but I'm not 100% sure if we have enough of the right sort of stamps for that. But we know what we're doing next week: kitchen, servant quarters, and whatever this room's going to be. So let's make the head of the table a little bit grander. I believe trophy is the right word. Stick a big old bear head. Move back a little bit. And I think that's where we'll leave it for today. It is 10 minutes on the earlier side, but I've had a little bit of a rough week. Some of the viewers might know. There we go. So we have the grounds at ground level and at first floor level. We have our balcony that we sort of futzed about with an idea of last week. And now we know, thanks to the interactive map of Waterdeep, we know where the Roaring Horn Villa sits. In fact, let's also just rotate that 90 degrees. So, Actually, one thing I will do, you're so welcome. Actually, let's go there and then go compass. We might need to bring up one of the... Nope, we're good. I like this compass. Opacity is good, size is not. Here looks good. Let's put that there. Now zooming in, yes, the north arrow is a bit larger, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll just put a big old N there. Bit bigger. So I prefer to have my maps with north at the top for obvious reasons, but yeah, we discovered a wee bit too late, that is the beginning of the third session in. North is that away, according to the screen, so be it. Oh, I love this piece of music, Elysium. It is suitably fantasy and epic, but it's got just enough of the dubstep to give us a little bit of that anachronistic, like, this is the music I want to play when we're, you know, airdropping in our characters Halo style over a busy city in the middle of the night. Can't wait to see what any fan art might look like if we ever get to the stage where people are drawing fan art. Okay, yeah, I think that's... Sorry, I just noticed something, and it would eat at me all day. That's ever so slightly off the center. Okay. Okay, so in fact, I think once our characters make a bit of a name for themselves as like a new team, a new breed of law enforcement in Waterdeep, we might even have some of the noble houses sort of personally request them. There was a really old movie, I think, called Sneakers, a newer TV show called Breaking In, where security companies get hired to break into places and steal stuff to test security. So, you know, if we're in need of even just a filler episode, we can get guest DMs in. I know a lot of fantastic DMs that, you know, I would love to just set loose for a couple of hours in Waterdeep. You know, we could have the Roaring Horns, for example. We can use this map and say, we would like your team to try and infiltrate our villa so that we can improve our security. And, you know, that just gives us more of a reason to create these fun places. If there's a barracks or there's a couple of forts right down the very south end of Waterdeep where the walls extend around Waterdeep Harbour. Same thing. One of the Lords of Waterdeep or one of the Marshals of the, not the City Watch, they're the City Watch, the City Guard will say, we want your team to try and infiltrate our fort so that, you know, if there are any weaknesses, we want allies to find them, not enemies. We want someone on our team. So, you know, I think there's a number of fun ways to explore these maps and just give our characters, some guest players, some guest DMs, a reason to just completely cut loose in the setting in a nice self-contained sort of plot / environment. So looking forward to seeing where that goes. And yeah, I think we will call it here. Hope to see as many of you as possible on Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Big announcement coming up then that I'm just so excited to announce that we've hit this point. And hopefully I'll see you there and talk to maybe some of you even in the meantime. So that's me. Thanks for coming along and again having another really nice, relaxed, chilled out session. Don't forget, # all Watchmen are bastards.